Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is not a plant video. If you're into oddities and curiosities, stick around. And if you're not, then go ahead and go on. I don't want to spook anybody that doesn't want to see a couple of more strange things, I guess. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the video. First and foremost, this is from my decorating a deer skull video that I did, Vulture Culture Crafts, I think in 2020. I had originally put vines on this skull, but I ended up taking them off, I think last year, just because they weren't really looking the way I would want them to look now. But I did keep the moss and a butterfly. I do have some small crystals I might adhere to it at some point. And yeah, I do have a second deer skull next to me. My second deer skull is this one. This one was probably hunted by a family member, and I was given the skull at some point. I've had this one for a very long time as well. It was very dirty at one point and needed to be cleaned. I cleaned this. It still had flesh and stuff on it. I cleaned it and basically bleached it. And yeah, I do have one more skull that is outside that we found, but it's outside. It needs to be cleaned still, so I haven't brought it in. And I probably won't include it in this video just because it's a little nasty. It's not like there's no flesh on it anymore, but it's just dirty because it was underground. It was kind of buried. So yeah, this one isn't so weird, so much so. At least I don't feel like it's weird. I guess everything could be weird depending on the person you ask. But this is either a cow or a horse jaw. I can't tell you what because I'm not really sure. I got this at a like a vintage market, flea market, something like that. Probably, I think it was like $5. I got this many years ago. I've had it for a very long time. And yeah, I do have tons and tons and tons. Actually, not tons and tons and tons, but I have like, gosh, 6 or 7 cow skulls. I have a bull skull that was gifted to me by my in-laws, and then I have a bunch of cow skulls that were given to me by my father, that he used to have out in his garden that he collected. Those are outside in my shop, and I'm not going out there and bringing 7 skulls into heavy skulls into the house. If I can, I think I have one on my back porch, so I might include a clip next. My next skull it needs to be cleaned. It's not dirty. It's not like it has anything left in it, because it technically has been cleaned, but it's been outside since then, and so has some dirt and spider webs on it. But it is a canine skull that my father found and brought home to me while he was out of town in Texas. It was just on the side of the road. So yeah, I think, I'm not sure. Maybe not. I thought that maybe I had the bottom jaw to this, but I don't think I actually do. And I do have another dog skull that was one of my dogs who had passed away. We had buried him. His name was Monkey. And I had buried him, and then I put a container rose bush over his grave. The area where he was buried a few years after was going to be dug up, and we didn't live in the house anymore. It was family's land. So I decided to go ahead and take him, all the rest of the remains. And as weird as that sounds, and some people thought that was weird, I didn't think it was weird. He is in my shop as well, and I'm not going out there to get him. I have not looked at him since I put him in the box that I put him in. So yeah, I would like to do something with him one day, but today is not the day, and I would like to do something with this one as well, but I'm not really sure what. It might actually, this one actually might be a coyote. Looking at it, it could very well be, and it was found in Texas, so yeah, it very well could be, which, you know, still pretty cool. Actually, even cooler. Next find, I'm gonna have to wash my hands after handling this one because it has not been cleaned. It is in just a little Tupperware until I get the motivation to do it or remember to do it, which I might try to go ahead and soak it tonight and put it outside. What I like to do is I put them in water, and normally I use the lower end cream bleach additive for hair bleaching, but I don't have any, so I might just go with hydrogen peroxide and water. This is a raccoon skull that my husband found not that long ago, actually, and the jaw pieces are here as well. There's two. I'm just gonna pull one out just because I'm gonna wash my hands right after this part, just because I have not handled this yet, and it's been in this Tupperware since I got it, so I'll be back. Sticking with my skull and bone collection for now. This is the cat skull that I did in 2021, which you can go and watch that video. I'll have it linked below. And I will have the deer decorating skull linked below as well. But this cat, if you don't go and watch those videos or if you don't care to, I found this at a family member's house who thought I was really weird for wanting to take this cat skull. The cat was still had flesh on it. It was all dried out and mummified a little bit, but I ended up bringing it home, soaking it for several days, and then eventually putting it in this, and putting these pressed flowers that I found as well, which I'm not sure if they were Queen Anne's lace or hemlock, but either way, here they are. At the time, I didn't know anything about hemlock or Queen Anne's lace, and I just thought the flowers were pretty and that I could press them. Looking back, I wish it probably was Queen Anne's lace since I didn't have a reaction to it, but yeah. Again, going off of my bone collection, and actually the last bones I have in the house with me are some, I have them in this little, I have little crystals with them, bird bones. I used to have a skull that went with this. These bird bones are crow, and were found in the same area-ish where the raccoon skull was found, and I used to have a crow skull that was found with these bones as well. That's how I know it's a crow, but my cat knocked it off the shelf, and then my dog ate it, so now I just have this little pelvic bone, which is pretty cool, and just bird bones now. Going off of bird, this one might be a little bit strange, but this is a duck egg. It's a fairy duck egg. So ducks, typically, chickens can do this as well. When they first start laying, they'll sometimes lay very small eggs. I'm going to show you in comparison what a regular duck egg, and it's from the same duck, looks like. One sec. So again, fairy egg, which is upside down. Before I show you the other duck egg, what I did is I poked a hole on each side and shook it until everything came out, and then rinsed, and then put it in a container of salt to let it dry for several days. So these came from my Khaki Campbell nettle. And this is her general egg size. The very typical sized egg I get from her. Sometimes they vary, sometimes they're a little bit bigger, sometimes they're a little bit smaller, but generally they're this size. So yeah. Her eggs are not much bigger than a chicken's eggs, but they are denser and heavier. So yeah. Back to bones. The only reason I started going with my duck egg was because bird. And I really should have showed these next, but I do have some deer sheds, or a couple of these were hacked off of a deer. I did not do this. Neither did my husband. But yeah, I have a small deer antler collection. These have been stored away for some time, just because my cat kept knocking them over, and I need to find a good place for my oddities. I do not have a curio cabinet as of right now, and I would like to get one eventually. I've been thrifting for one for a while. I will consider this portion my porcelain selection. They're not porcelain dolls per se, but well, sort of. But this cat I thought would fit into this video as a spooky kind of theme. Look at her eyes. She's very, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why she was painted like that, but I love her. I found her at a Savers, I think. This doll head was found in a burn pile in the house, like in the backyard in the house, at the house that we moved into, this house. So I kept it. I don't know what I want to do with it. I eventually think I want to do some type of planty thing with it. It would be kind of neat to have a plant sitting in the top of this. I guess another portion of my porcelain collection, I don't think she's porcelain, is this Mother Mary statue that I found at the Goodwill. And she's probably worth quite a bit of money because I cannot find her original design. However, I can find the brand. She resides in what I will show you in the next clip. That's where she resides. And while I am not religious, I thought she was very beautiful. So yeah. His hat comes off because it was ripped off, but this is a clown doll thing, tchotchke, from the 60s or 50s, and I'm told, I got this from my dad, I'm told that this is a family heirloom. This was my grandmother's, or my great-grandmother's, and my dad has had him for a while apparently. I didn't know that. He must have been stuffed away or was given to my dad after my mom and dad separated from a different family member, which is very possible. But yeah, he currently resides in a box because I don't want him getting any more tore up than he is. But yeah. On to another object doll thing. This is Annie. I found Annie at the Goodwill bins, and she is about 4 feet tall. Her dress is from Branson, probably from the 90s, because there's a tag in the back of her, and she looks handmade. Yeah. I had to re-sew and hand stitch her because she had cardboard sitting her up inside of her, and I didn't know that, and I washed her, and so I had to take it out, cut her open. It wasn't sewed up very well anyways in the back for some reason, but she looks very handmade, and she's not haunted that I know of. I've had her for several years now. I've never had an bad interaction with her. While she is a little creepy looking, and my sister did not appreciate that she shared a room with Annie for a while. She's I thought she was neat. I paid $4 for her, so. A fork that I found at a antique store, and it's a Little Red Riding Hood. Didn't know if that would fit into this category, but I thought that it would because I very much like the print on this, and it does say Little Red Riding Hood on the middle part. I want to collect the whole set of these and have them put up because I love it. But this is all I found, so this is what I have for now. These are my gargoyles that do not have a home right now, but I do very much love them, and especially this one in particular. This one was given to me by a neighbor when I lived in the apartments that we lived in when I was filming some of my videos. He was just a little weirded out because somebody set this on in his garden. People would randomly just set trinkets and stuff into his garden, so and this one in particular he wasn't fond of, so he gave it to me. And then this one I got at the Goodwill bins, probably I think the day I found her, because I don't go to the Goodwill bins very often. I'm gonna move on to some dry specimens I have, and then we'll move on to the wet specimens. So this is a butterfly my sister bought me for my birthday. Was it last year or a couple years ago? I think she bought it off of Etsy from this shop. So yeah, very pretty. Actually, she may have bought this one on Amazon. A few years before, she bought this either for Christmas or my birthday, I don't remember. It is a bat, and while I probably would not buy a bat, knowing that they're not super ethical, she didn't know that at the time, and I didn't know that at the time. So, unless it's a vintage antique bat, I don't see myself buying a bat in the future. So yeah, but it's still cute, and it was a gift. Now these wet specimens, they're bugs. So if you're a little squeamish to wet specimens, I'll put a timestamp down. So, forewarning right now. This is a walking stick that I found, and it is very, very discolored. I did this a long time ago, and I cannot get the jar open to replace the alcohol inside of it. So, yeah. And then this is, while I could probably open this one never really discolored. This is just a cicada I found dead on the ground years ago. I think the same year or year after I found the walking stick. So yeah, I have not found a jar that I like to put him in yet, because this is just what I had when I found him. So this is what he went into. Now, my next one is a little bit of a story. This is a rabbit heart from a wild rabbit that we hit, or it hit us, shall I say. She ran into our tires, and I decided I wanted to process her for her pelt and potentially her skull. Now, she is in a ice chest in our deep freezer, so I can't get her out right now because she still has not been fully processed. I just didn't have all the tools to do it, so she resides in there until I kind of want to get derma beetles and see if I can keep her whole skeleton, but that will be a different story for some other time. I will show you another part of her. This also resides in my freezer and is very frozen. I will wash my hands after handling this, but it is her pelt. I have not fully been able to clean it just yet, and I do need to thaw it out and finish cleaning it. I didn't have the tool to scrape all of the flesh off of her. I'm going to go put this up and wash my hands. I'm going to start with this. I'm a little upset because I don't know where my blacklight flashlight is, so I can't show you. But just look up uranium glass. I do have this little uranium glass cocktail cup, I guess, that I got at probably a flea market or a vintage market. And I went out of town to another thrift store when we were on vacation, and I was half wondering, I did not have my blacklight flashlight, so I ended up picking this up anyways, but just in case. But it will be just added to my glass collection, is this dusty rose pink teacup set, plate and teacup set. It is not uranium. I do, however, believe it has manganese in it because it has a slight glow to it. But other than that, it's not. It just looks pretty. Again, I don't have a curio cabinet just of yet, so I have not been really collecting. It's just if I see something, I kind of pick it up. On to another thing that is glowy, but also a section, Divination. This is a 90s Ouija board, and the Ouija board in itself does glow, I think, if I remember correctly, and the cursor, I guess, I forget what it's called, the planchette, does glow as well. So I will show you. I got this at a vintage market, flea market as well, years and years ago. Here's the planchette. To be honest with you, I'm not sure if this board was ever used prior to me buying it, because it seems very new. This was born the same year I was born, 1998, which I thought was cool, and it had been sitting in a booth for quite a while because I'd seen it multiple times and finally decided to pick it up, and yeah, now it resides with me. I'll show you the box again. And I think it's in pretty good condition for, you know, what it is. This is what it would look like when it glows in the dark. You do have to have sun on it for it to glow, kind of like the little stars that you would put on your ceiling. My second divination tool collection, which I didn't realize I actually had a collection of divination tools, is this ruin set. Was made in Italy by the little sorcerer. My husband bought this for me for either Christmas or my birthday, I can't remember, and it has my nickname in it, and yeah, it was handmade, and handmade for me, so yeah. This is another Etsy find. My dad bought me this, and I'll explain the reason why. This is a Aleister Crowley tarot deck from, I believe it was the 80s or 70s. Not sure when this particular deck was released, because I think the Crowley tarot cards were released from the late 60s into the 80s or 90s. My dad used to have a deck that were my grandfather's, and I was supposed to get those, and I didn't receive them. My dad felt bad, and so he ended up buying me these off of Etsy. I'm still a little salty that I didn't get the other deck because they were my grandfather's, and so they had sentimental, generational value to them, but these will have to do, and I still can tell the story of the tarot cards. My dad what used to be an avid tarot card reader for himself and friends, you know, just as a party trick. But my grandfather used to read tarot cards. I think those tarot cards were also my great-grandmother's, Amanda's, which is my name, who I was named after. So it's a little upsetting that I ended up not receiving those, but it's okay. It's okay. I've just slowly been curating this collection for many years. And while it is a small, humble collection in comparison to probably some other people's, I'm still pretty proud of it. A lot of it was sourced from my own findings. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and if you enjoyed this, then like and subscribe and comment what kind of things you collect down below. This channel, I mostly talk about plants. However, I do try to incorporate just some naturey things and I would eventually like to get into sharing some of my homesteading stuff on this channel as well. So this is just going to be a mix mash of just me and my personality and the things that I do. But currently they are houseplants mostly. And I guess that's all I gotta say. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, or don't. I don't care. But I would like to know what kind of oddities you guys collect or plants you collect, and if you enjoyed my video. So yeah, if you want to stick around, I'm going to talk in the next part, but if you don't, then you don't have to stay and listen. Bye. Okay, so this is just a life update, I guess. And it's not really, I don't have anything really fully to say. I just wanted to share some stuff with you guys. So I got new ducklings. We had a duck die like last month, I think. And so I'm down to 2 ducks. And so I really needed to add more ducks. Just because ducks are social animals and 2 is not enough. And I have a male and female, and I'm hoping that I get 2 females. Because a lot of the time when you go to buy and purchase ducks or ducklings, they are not, they're not gendered. So you kind of have to wait until they become of age for you to start telling those telltale signs that what they are. And I will bring them out in a moment. I hope I don't get ducky poo on me, but these are my 2 new ducklings, and hopefully they are female, otherwise I will have to get rid of them. This is a crested pekin, and I think she or he, I hope she, is a rowan, because mallard ducklings only have 1 stripe across their eye, but if you see below, there's a 2nd stripe. So yeah, they're freaking out. I'm gonna go put them up. I'll be back. My second, I guess, other things that I want to talk about. My sister is having a baby in the next month. So I'm gonna try to film a few videos before then to post on Fridays, but I might not be able to film enough because I'm going to stay with her because she lives 6 hours away from me, just to help her settle in to being a new mom. Bye. I'm also currently working on some planty things. I do need to continue working on my garden and pulling up some weeds and stuff in my flower bed, and then I have some other big things that I'm trying to accomplish within this year, so I will share those when those happen. But for now, yeah, just stick around, subscribe, and you'll find out and see some of my future things happening if you do want to know. But anyways, thank you guys for watching and listening to me rant, even though I didn't really have a whole lot to say today. But yeah, thank you. Bye.